class 9 because of some technical issues beta yesterday I was not able to upload my video regarding chapter 5, but today that's why today I will try my best to complete the chapter 5 in this single video. See beta, our chapter 5 for class 9 NCERT is Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. The chapter names is beta Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. Euclid's Geometry. See beta, here we will learn what is geometry and why this geometry is given name Euclid's geometry, what was the need of geometry in ancient times, and how did that geometry is related to this modern era geometry. Okay, we will discuss the different facts, why geometry was introduced and why and how all the mathematicians throughout the world try to find out the concepts of modern era regarding the geometry. Okay beta, so without any delay I am going to start my video, my lecture, Euclid's Geometry. See beta, in this chapter, very frankly, this is the chapter which is mostly based on theoretical concept, so please everyone try to relate it with the practical examples. I will give you the practical examples and you all have to relate with that. Okay, done? Do not worry, each and every single term you will be aware of and you all will get the knowledge of geometry. Okay, see beta, first if we see what is geometry. What is geometry? Geometry. See beta, this is a Greek word. This is a Greek word which is, you can say like this. Okay, write like this. This is a Greek word beta. Here geo means earth. Here geo means earth and metry means measurement. Metry means measurement, or in short you can say geometry is the branch of mathematics that deals with the measurements which are related to earth. Okay, in short you can say geometry is the branch of mathematics which deals with the measurements related to earth. Okay, now see beta, why geometry was needed. What was the need of geometry? See, let me give you an example beta. Suppose I want to make my new house. I want to make my new house. Whatever is the plot I have, first of all, what we have to do? We have to draw its map. We have to draw its map and outlay we should have, such that the imposition scheme given to the outlay, such that here will be my bathroom, the size of bathroom will be this, here will be my kitchen, here will be my bedroom, dining room, whatever are. Okay, in that case, if you observe what I need, I need the measurements. I need the measurements, yes or no? In ancient times, in earlier times, if we consider an example, suppose there was a flood. Because of flood, the boundaries of the fields of two persons, suppose me and Mr. X, whatever is X, whoever is he, me and Mr. X are neighbors. Our fields are just nearby with each other. We are having common boundary. Okay, but because of flood, all the fields are flooded and each and every boundary is vanished. Now, how can we draw the boundary after the flood? Because it is needed now. My place is mine and his field is his. Okay, that's why in those conditions, what we have to do? We again need geometry. We have to measurement. We need some measurements. Those define that it is my field, this is my field, and the another is yours. Okay, this is the need of geometry. This is the need of geometry. In ancient times, the ancestors faced, and they slowly started to work over it. Okay, Indians, Chinese, Greece, okay, Egyptians, Babylonians, each and everyone throughout the world started to work over the geometry. Okay, and slowly many facts were there. Many facts were there. And if I say very frankly, the role of Indian ancestors, very proudly beta, if you have learned, I think you are in 9th class, I do not know you have learned or not, but if you have listened about the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro times? There was a, I think 2017 or 16, there was a movie starring Hrithik Roshan, Mohenjo-daro. Okay, that movie reflects that ancient times in Indus Valley. See beta, if we see that time, at that time in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa times beta, very frankly, it was so much scientifically designed. The roads were so much scientifically designed that roads were drawn parallel, and the underground drainage system was formed at that time. And how it was possible? It was possible because of knowledge of the geometry. Because of the knowledge of the geometry. Okay, beta, it means the role of India is also very, whatever you can say, it is very broad in case of geometry. Okay, beta. See, if we discuss the concept of geometry, a Greek mathematician, Mr. Euclid, observed all the things surrounding him, and all the facts, all the mathematicians throughout the world were studying how to build up the foundation for the geometry. Then he started to write his manual. By all the observations surrounding him. Okay, and his manual's name was beta Elements. His manual's name was Elements. In Elements, there were, I think, 13 chapters were there. Many definitions, and many new terms were introduced. See beta, what Euclid observed from the surroundings on all the studies of mathematician. He, let me give you an example of Indian ancestors. If we see beta 800 BC to 500 BC, there is a manual in Indian history. Which is known as Sulb Sutras. In that, the concept of measurements is there. The concept of measurements is discussed there. Okay, and if we see how many Vedas in there, India, beta, how many Vedas? 4 Vedas. If you Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharvaved, the 4th Ved, Atharvaved, there is a word beta Shri Yantram. A picture of Shri Yantram is there. Okay beta, if you see, Shri Yantram is is a kind of figure we use in the during Diwali times when we worship Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, then we use Shri Yantram, Lakshmi Yantram, whatever the word do you use, it's yours. Okay, see, Shri Yantram. How it is related to geometry? In this beta, Shri Yantram, 9 isosceles triangles are formed, which are forming 43 angles with each other. 9 isosceles triangles are formed there in the Sri Yantram and making 43 angles. And this Sri Yantram is supposed in that time, this is the shape which convinces Ma Lakshmi. Okay, that's why it was known as Lakshmi Yantram also. It is also known as Lakshmi Yantram. But why this beta? What is the relation of this with the geometry? The relation is that beta, here this is the relation with geometry. This is the relation with geometry. If you observe beta, all the things surrounding us having some measurement, and that's why geometry is so much needed for us. Geometry is so much needed for us. Okay beta. If you say many more history, a lot of history points are there beta. If you, one thing, what Euclid observed and what he wrote in his manual Elements, he used the word assumption. Are you getting my point? Euclid used the word assumption for each and every term he discussed in the Elements. Many terms are undefined. Even many terms are undefined in the Elements. Because, why? Because I think in many practical things, some things are ignored. Because if we define a thing, and to define that, we have to define many other things. But if that thing is practical in front of you, that can be avoided because it is understood, and then further things are observed. Okay, see, that's why Euclid used the word assumption for his writings in the manual Elements. Okay, done. But the first written proof regarding the geometry was given by Thales. See beta, the first written proof regarding the geometry was given by Mr. Thales, a great mathematician. In 10th class you will study about the Thales theorem also. Okay, what was his first written proof regarding geometry? See beta, his first proof was a circle is there, and if we draw the diameter, diameter divides circle into two parts. You will say, sir, it is already known, it is understood. But at that time it was not understood beta. It was the first written proof in the geometry that was given by Mr. Thales. And one more thing, a very famous mathematician who was the follower of Mr. Thales is Pythagoras. And you all have listened about the word Pythagoras theorem. We have used hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. Yes or no? Done. What does it mean? Why I am introducing these persons to you? Just to pay them honor. Very frankly, for this chapter, no one is there whose theory will be in touched. But that's just to pay them honor. Because of them, we are here doing the geometry concepts of modern era. That's why I introduced these persons to you, because these are the mathematicians, real mathematicians who have generated the foundation for the modern era geometry. Now see beta, what things Mr. Euclid, do you know Euclid was a teacher. He was a maths teacher. Okay, and he also he wrote the manual Elements. What terms he used in Elements? See beta, in his book or manual, whatever you want to say, he used the word assumption for each and every term into classification. Into classification. See beta. Number one was axiom. Number one was axiom. And the number two was postulate. Postulates. Now, what are axioms and what are postulates? See beta, axioms are those assumptions. Axioms are those assumptions which are applicable in geometry as well as in general mathematics. See beta, axioms are applicable. These are assumptions. These both are assumptions beta. He gave the name assumption to these. Okay. Assumptions by observation. Okay. Applicable in geometry as well as in general mathematics. Okay. But the postulates are the assumptions which are applicable in geometry only. Are you getting my point? The fact is that axioms are assumptions which are applicable in geometry as well as in general mathematics, but postulates are applicable in geometry only. Okay, done. See beta, if you want to take the screenshot, you can take the screenshot. Now we will start the chapter concept. Done. Now see, first we will discuss the axioms by Mr. Euclid, and then we will discuss the postulates given by the Mr. Euclid. Okay. See beta, these all are his observations. Okay. If we discuss about the axioms, lot of axioms were there, but in your syllabus only 7 are discussed, so we will discuss only 7 axioms. See beta, very frankly, till now, since the 10-15 minutes, my introduction to the geometry, I think all were like, no sir, it is not so boosting you and whatever is it was little bit boring. But see, now each and everything will be cleared, because we will understand each and every axiom with practical example, and that only those practical examples will work and definitely create your excitement and create your interest. See beta, axioms. Number one axiom according to your curriculum, axiom first is, if two things are equal to a thing, then both are equal. Equal to same thing. You can write this. If two things are equal to same thing, then both are equal. See, let me give you an example. Suppose x is equal to 4. Suppose x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 4 also. Suppose x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 4 also. From here and here, can I write x is equal to y? Yes or no? X is 4, y is 4. It means x is equal to y. Suppose you are having 100 rupees in your pocket, and I am also having 100 rupees in my pocket. What can I say? Total money in your pocket is equal to total money in my pocket. Yes or no? X is equal to y. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 4. That's why x is equal to y. And in terms of geometry, if you apply, suppose this is the line segment AB. which is equal to PQ. This is the line segment AB which is equal to PQ, and there is another line segment CD which is equal to PQ. See beta, here is given AB is equal to PQ, and here I am writing CD is equal to PQ. From these both, can I write AB is equal to CD, yes or no? You got my point? This is the first postulate beta. If two things are equal to the same thing, then both are equal. Okay? I think you got this first axiom. If two things are equal to the same thing, then both are equal. Take the screenshot. Done. Now axiom 2. Now axiom 2. See beta, second axiom is, if you consider, if we are adding the same thing, two equal things, if we are adding same quantity to equal quantities, the output got is also equal. See what I am saying? If same thing is added to equal, adding to equals, then output will also be equal, See beta, whatever the language given in your book, I am not using it, I am using my own language so that make you understand in easier way. If same thing is added to equals, then output will be equal. See, suppose I am writing x is equal to y, x is equal to y, and 2 is added to both sides. X and y are equals, x and y are equal. I am adding 2 here and adding 2 here. What it will be? Yes or no? It will be same. Yes or no? See beta, 5 is equal to 5. 5 is equal to 5, and if I am adding 2 both sides, same thing is added towards both, the output will be equal. Yes or no? Done beta? Got my point? If same thing is added to the equals, same thing is added to the equals, the output is also equal. Output will also be equal. Yes or no? In terms of geometry, if we see, suppose this is the line segment AB, which is 5 centimeters. There is another line segment CD, which is also 5 centimeters. Now what I am doing, I am adding 2 centimeter to both. Adding a 2 centimeter line segment to the both. P, Q. Okay beta, then what it will be? See, AB is equal to 5 centimeter, CD is equal to 5 centimeter. AB and CD are equal. Okay. What I did, I added 2 centimeters here to AB and 2 centimeters to CD. Then the output here became AP and here became CQ, which both are 7 centimeters. Yes or no? AP will be 7 centimeters. Therefore, CQ is also 7 centimeters. You got my point? If the same thing is added to the same thing, sorry, to equal things. Two equal things are there and we have added same thing to the equal things. The output is also same. Okay, this was the second axiom beta. See, initially you will think, sir, these things we know, we already know. But you know, but how you got this knowledge? You got this knowledge because of Mr. Euclid's axioms. Okay, it was his observation, and later on these become the facts. Later on this becomes the facts. This was the second axiom beta. You want to take the screenshot? You can take. Okay, this is the second axiom. Now third beta. Now we will discuss third axiom. This is just similar like to the first one. This is just like similar to the first one. See, what is there? Number 3. If same thing is subtracted from from the equals, output will be equal. Yes or no? Output will be equal. You got my point? See, in the second axiom we added same thing. Here we are subtracting same thing. See, let me give you an example. Suppose x is equal to y and I am subtracting 2 from it and 2 from it. The both output will be same. Okay, see beta, 7 is equal to 7, but I am subtracting 2 from it and 2 from it. What the output will be? 5 and 5. Yes or no? What does it mean? If we are subtracting same thing from the equals, the output will be same. Geometrically example, see, suppose AB is 5 centimeters, CD is also 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters, 5 centimeters. Okay, what I am doing? I am taking 1 centimeter from it. Okay, 1 centimeter from it also. If I cut 1 centimeter from it, this 1 centimeter is removed. The output will be AP and it will be CQ. Suppose, see beta, whole was 5. Whole was 5 centimeter. Whole was 5 centimeter. Okay. Now, when we removed this part, 1 is subtracted. 1 is subtracted. Okay. Then AP will be equal to CQ. See beta, AB and CD were equal. I subtracted 1 from here and 1 from here. It became AP and it became CQ and both are equal. Why? Both are 4 centimeters. Okay beta. See, according to third axiom, if we are subtracting same thing from the equals, the output will remain same. Done? Okay, you can take the screenshot. Done? You have taken the screenshot. Now beta, axiom number 4. See, axiom number 4 is also same. Oh sorry, this is not same. Oh, let me. First we should discuss axiom number 6 and 7. Why I am doing axiom 6 and 7 first? Because 2, 3, 6, 7 are just like same. See beta, first I am discussing 6. Why? Because this is related to 2, 3 axioms. Axioms number 2 and 3 are same as 2, 6 and 7. That's why I am taking 6 first. See, axiom number 6. Double of equals is also equal. What does it mean? See beta, what does it mean? If x is equal to y and I multiply these by 2, what it will be? 2x is equal to 2y. Yes or no? See beta, 5 is equal to 5. These are equals. Okay, and if I multiply it with 2 and it with 2, we will get 10. Here we 10, which are both equal. Yes or no? This is the 6th axiom. That double of equals will also be equal. Done? Let me give you an example, geometrical example. AB, CD, both are suppose 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters. To double the AB, what I will do? AB and one BC point I will take here, such that this is also 4 centimeters. What it will be? 8, yes or no? In the same way, CD and put a point TE here. Suppose P is this and Q is this. This is also 4 centimeters. What it will be? It will be 8 centimeters. What does it mean? Double of equals is also equal. That's why related with to second and third. See beta, as in general arithmetic or algebra mathematics, we know in equation if same things are added, same things are subtracted, same things are multiplied, and same things are dividing, then there is no effect on the equation. That's why I relate here. Okay, now see, you can take the screenshot. Done. Now see beta, axiom number 7. Axiom number 7. See, axiom number 7. What is this? Halves of equals are equal. See beta, maybe my language is not similar to your book language, but it is quite understandable. Don't worry. See, what does it mean? Suppose 10x is equal to 10x, 10y. 10x is equal to 10x. Or leave it here. Suppose x is equal to y. Okay. Now I am taking half of it and half of it also. Yes or no? What it will be? Halves will also be equal. Yes or no? Halves will also be equal. See, 10 is equal to 10. 10 is equal to 10. If I take its half and its half, both halves are also equal. Yes or no? Done beta? This is the 7th axiom. AB, CD. This is 4 centimeters. This is also 4 centimeters. Okay. Now if I take the half of this at P, it will be 2. It will be 2. And if I take its half at Q, it will be 2. It will be 2. Now see beta. AB is equal to CD. Therefore, their half will also be equal. And AB's half are AP and PB. And CD's half are CQ and QD. You got my point? That's why I am saying half of the same thing, half of equals are also equal. Done beta? It is axiom number 7. 10 is equal to 10, therefore 5 is equal to also 5 because half of equals are equal. Done beta? Okay? Take the screenshot. See beta, these things with respect to example I am giving, you have to write in your notebooks. It will help you whenever you are going to revise. Whenever you are going to revise, you will get it done very easily. Question, axiom number 4. 4 भी means na? Now see. Things which coincide with one another are equal. Things which coincide with each other are equal. Actually coincide. What does it mean? Its meaning is similar or same. Similar or same in English dictionary. But we will use the same word here. In mathematics we will use the word same because it will work in this manner. See, similar is the word which will little bit different from the same word. In higher classes, in 10th class you will study the similar word, then you will say accurately correct it. Okay, see number 4. If two things are coinciding, they are equal. Let me give you an example from the geometry. See, AB is the line segment, CD is the line segment. If it is possible to put CD on AB and CD covers AB, and when if we put AB on CD and AB covers CD, see beta, suppose AB is length here, here is the contradiction part, see beta, not contradiction, opposite part, and CD. See beta, if we put AB on CD, AB will cover CD, okay, doesn't matter. But if we put CD on this, C and D will be here, this part is not covered. Yes or no? This part is not covered. What does it mean? AB can cover CD, but CD cannot cover AB. In this case, these are not coinciding. These are not coinciding. But if we put AB on CD, it will cover CD, and if we put CD on AB, it will cover AB. That's why in this case, if the both line segments are over each other, AB, CD, AB, CD, and CD, AB, both are covering each other exactly. In that case, the things are coinciding, and therefore, beta, these are equal. Suppose this is x centimeters, it will also be x centimeters. Only in that case, these are equal also. Okay, if they are coinciding, those are equal also. If a circle is coinciding with another circle, then the circles are equal also. Done, beta? Okay, you can take the screenshot. Now axiom number 5. Done, beta? You all have worried about it? Now, axiom number 5. See, beta, so simple is this. Suppose in this box, area is 100 centimeter square. The area of this box is 100 centimeter square. A, B, C, D. If you cut it from anywhere, suppose you are cutting this, or whatever is, you can notice first part, second part, third part, fourth part. Area of these parts is always less than 100. Yes or no? Area of these parts is always less than 100. Suppose this is a cloth, and I am making some parts of it. You can easily observe, beta, no part will be lengthier or more in area than the actual hole was, whatever the actual hole was. Yes or no? Done. So your axiom 5 states that part is always shorter than whole. Okay, or you can say whole is always greater than part. Okay, done, beta. Suppose this is the circle having some area. Okay, if you cut any part of this whole part's area, the area of all the parts will be less than whole. This is axiom number 5. Okay, beta, you can take the screenshot and you can understand these. Axioms are these. Okay, these were the axioms, or you can say assumptions, written by Euclid in his manual Elements by observing the surroundings and all the studies of the other mathematicians. Okay, and these axioms were applicable in geometry as well as in general mathematics, as we have related with the practical examples. Done, beta? Now it's time to discuss postulates. See, beta, do you remember what was the postulate? Postulates are the assumptions. What does these say? These are those assumptions which are directly related to geometry only, not general mathematics. These are related to geometry only. Okay, beta? Done. Postulate 1. Now I am discuss postulates one by one. First postulate is a straight line can be drawn from any point. A straight line can be drawn from any point. Yes or no? See beta, when will we start chapter 6? Before starting the chapter 6, I will introduce all the terms, those are related to the modern geometry. Okay? A straight line, see it was written there, but line is always straight. Okay? Suppose there is a point, from this point I can draw a line, yes or no? From this point I can draw a line. From any point a line can be drawn, a straight line can be drawn from any one point to any other point. If you want to make it limited, see suppose there is a point A and from here there is a point B, there is a point C, there is a point E. From A you can draw the line passing through C, passing through E, passing through B also. Straight line can be formed from a point to any point, up to any point. Okay, this is postulate 1. Then beta, postulate second. Postulate second. It is done. See beta, what does second postulate state? Second postulate state that a line can be produced in any direction. See beta, when we will start chapter 6 after this lecture, I will discuss all the terms of modern era, then you will relate that sir, these are not wrong, these are right according to the modern era. Because these were the observations he observed, and then modern geometry was formed, and in modern geometry some dusht mathematicians say, sir, these are wrong. No. These were the base of the modern era. Okay, might be these assumptions can be little bit different from the modern definition, but modern definition are the hairs of this. Okay, now see, a line can be produced in any direction. Suppose this is the line. Actually, at that time he used line for the line segment, the word line for the line segment. In modern geometry, the term line segment is different from line. Okay, but do not worry. Suppose this is the line AB. It can be produced in this direction and in this direction also. This is postulate second. Okay, beta. This is line segment AB, line AB, and it can be reproduced in direction of B, in direction of A also. In modern definition, line is endless. Line is endless. But do not worry. Just learn, understand this, and then later on we will relate this with the modern geometry. Okay? This is postulate second. Postulate third. Postulate third, beta. What does third postulate state? Third postulate states that a circle can be drawn. A circle can be drawn from any point with any radius. A circle can be drawn from any point with any radius. Suppose there is a point, and suppose this is the radius we are taking, a circle can be drawn. This is the point, this is the radius you want to take, a circle can be drawn. A circle can be drawn from any point and with any radius. Okay? Done. Now see next postulate. Next postulate is right angles. See, right angles are same everywhere. See, what is the measurement of right angle? The measurement of right angle is 90 degree. Right angles are equal everywhere. Suppose I am drawing a right angle here. another right angle here, Q, and one more right angle here like this. Whatever is the condition, here it is 90 degree, it is 90, it is 90, therefore all these angles are equal. Right angles are equal everywhere. Right angles are equal everywhere. This is the fourth postulate. It was the observation, beta. It was his assumption. Do not try to make fun of the legendary Euclid. I know many students will say, sir, we don't know, we know better than this. I know you know better than this, but the foundation you should not never forget. Okay, postulate number 5, the last postulate according to your syllabus is that, suppose beta, two lines, I have to draw here. Suppose two lines are drawn, and the third line is intersecting. Two lines are drawn and a third line is intersecting the two lines. Okay, then the angles made which are less than right angles. See beta, this is a right angle, this is obtuse angle, and this is acute angle. The case of acute angle, this is less than 90, this is also less than 90. What does it mean, beta? See, if, what I am writing, if two lines are intersected by a line and angles formed between lines and the third line, between or by lines and the third line is less than, are giving some less than two right angles. Two right angles means 2 into 90, that is 180. Okay, if the two lines are intersected by the lines and the angles formed between the lines and the third lines are giving a sum of less than 180 degree, then on producing lines will meet on that side where angles sum is less than 180 degree. See beta, let me give you the example. Dekho, see, once again I am trying to make you understand. Two lines are given like this. A third line is falling on them. Then the angles, see beta, these are the angles formed between the lines and the lines. These are also the lengths. But the side on which the sum of angles is less than 180. See beta, here the sum of angles is less than 180. Therefore, on producing the lines on that side, they will meet. Okay, see, suppose these were like this. Yes or no? Now, if you see here, if these angles are less than 180 degree, sum of these angles is less than 180 degree, then on producing these lines, they will meet in this direction. Here they meet on the left side of the transversal. See beta, this third line is known as transversal. Transversal. Okay, I will explain it later. And here they'll meet on the right side of the transversal. Why? Because this time here the sum of angle was less than 180, and here in this case here the sum of angles was less than 180. Okay, done. You can take the screenshot. Done. Now see beta, what I am saying, fifth postulate states that if a line is falling on two lines, the angles formed are less than 180 degrees. See, once again I am explaining. This is the line, this is the line. A third line which is known as transversal, is falling on the two lines. Four angles are formed in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we observe, these angles are less than 180 degrees. Sum of these angles is less than 180 degree. Therefore, in this direction, if we produce the lines, they will meet. And in this direction, they will never meet. Okay, this is the fifth postulate observed by Mr. Euclid. Okay, done beta? Done? Now see, without any delay student, we are going to start exercise 5.1. Exercise 5.1. Okay, see beta, very easy and very, very easy. You all have to understand this concept with full concentration. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to understand the concept. Question number 1. See beta. Question number 1. Which of the following statements are true and which are false? Give reason for your answer. Number 1. See beta, I am going to start exercise 5.1. Question number 1, part first. Only one line can pass through a single point. No, it's false. See beta, suppose there is a point. A line can I draw like this? Another line can I draw like this? Yes or no? False. Why? Because infinite lines can be drawn from a point. Okay, can pass through a point. Infinite lines can pass through a point. Okay, now see beta, question number 1, part 2. I think you have got it beta. See, this was a point. A number of lines can be drawn from this point, this unique point, this distinct point. That's why first statement is false, because infinite line can be drawn from a single point. Second statement. See, read the second statement. There are infinite number of lines pass through two distinct points. See beta, suppose here is a point A and here is a point B. Can I draw a line passing from these two distinct points? Yes, I can draw a line which is passing through these two distinct points. Is it possible to draw any other line which is also passing through A and B? No, not at all. See, this line will only pass from B, not at all from B. A, in the same way here, if you observe, these all lines can pass through A only, not B. It means part second. False. Only one end, because one end, only one line can pass through two distinct points. Okay. See beta, our answers of the questions are also based on the observation, and if you draw such small diagrams with your justification, it will be the fourth moon. It will be the fourth moon with your justification. Okay? Now see, sorry. The statement third. Question number 1, statement third. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both the sides. Says yes, 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 yes. If you observe the second observation, if you see the second postulate beta, first question, third part, true. Yes, a line can be produced in both directions. See, suppose this is A, this is B. Can I produce A, B in this side and also produce in this side? According to our question, our need, we can produce a line into both directions of the terminals. Okay, done. These justifications are also based on the observations. Okay, beta. Part 4. If two circles are equal, their radii are equal. Yes. Yes, 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 beta. Fourth part. Suppose this is a circle and this is the another circle. If I am saying C1 is equal to C2, circles are equal means their lengths are equal, then their radii are also equal. Yes. It is sorry, it is true. If two circles are equal, then their radii are also equal. Only in that case they will coincide each other. Yes or no? They will coincide each other only in that case. Okay, done. Next part. In figure 5.9, AB PQ XY, then yes. See beta, fifth part, AB is equal to PQ and PQ is equal to XY. From here, AB is equal to XY. Yes or no? If you remember, axiom first states that according to axiom first, we can observe that if equals are equal to another thing, then both are also equal. AB is equal to PQ, PQ is equal to XY, therefore AB and XY are also equal. Yes. Statement 5, yes. Done beta? Okay. See, my target is to complete this chapter in this lecture. So I will be little bit faster right now beta. Only 15 minutes I have to complete this, and you all have to please pay attention and cooperate with me. Question number 2, definitions. Question number 2, definitions. Parallel lines. Parallel lines. You all know the simplest definition I will give you. Lines those never meet. Like see this example. Will the line ever meet? No, they will never meet means these are parallel lines. In some books it is given that if the perpendicular distance between them is same throughout, then the lines are parallel. Both are same beta. Perpendicular distance between the lines is same throughout, or these lines will never meet. These are parallel lines. Perpendicular lines. See beta, perpendicular lines. Second, perpendicular line. This is the symbol for perpendicular. Symbol for perpendicular. Perpendicular lines beta, the lines which are meeting at point such that all four angles are of 90 degree. Okay. If these lines are perpendicular, all these angles are 90 degree. Yes or no? The perpendicular lines means intersecting lines meeting at right angles. Meeting at right angles are perpendicular lines. Line segment. Line segment beta. Line segment number 3. Line segment. You can say a part of line which has endpoints. See beta, according to modern theory, line, line segment and ray are the collection of points on straight path, but line has no endpoints, ray has one endpoint, and line segment has both terminals, both endpoints. Okay, therefore line segment have endpoints. Okay, you can say the part of point having both endpoints is line segment. Okay beta, done. Radius of a circle. Number 4, radius of a circle. See beta, what is a circle? See, all these 3 definitions were simple. That's why I gave you the hint to you and left it on you. Do by yourself, write by yourself. But see, number 4, radius. Before that, you should study what is a circle. According to studies, suppose this is a point, and I want to collect all the points which are 5 centimeter away from it. Then see beta this. These are the points which are 5 centimeter away from the center, suppose, from this O. See beta, circle is the collection of points. Circle is the collection of points which are equidistant from a fixed point. From a fixed point. And this point is fixed point is known as center. Okay, then what is radius? Distance between center and circular points. Circular points. Okay beta. The distance between center and the circular points is known as radius. Done. Next definition. Square. Number 5, square beta. What is a square? Square is a quadrilateral. All the sides are equal and all the angles are of 90 degree. See beta, square is a kind of quadrilateral where all the sides are equal and all the angles are of 90 degree. It will called as square.